Hello, this is Pastor Henry Green. I am so excited I get to spend these next few moments with you. This is Power Lunch, Bible for business-minded people. And I've got a subject today. I'm so excited, but I want to give everybody just a moment to jump online. So if you've got some friends that are really into business and in the Bible, text them, tweet them, tell them to jump online, ping them, whatever you have to do to get some people there. It is great to have these few minutes to spend together. Power Lunch is based around the concept that I believe the Bible is the greatest business manual ever written. We just got to do a little bit of work to dig out the big business principles that will cause your business to explode. Now, I've been in a season where God is exposing me to additional increase. And I know even for your business, particularly for those of you that are kingdom-minded, small does not serve the kingdom. It's not that small doesn't matter, but you know God's got something bigger for you. So let's give everybody just a few moments to join the line. While we're waiting for the people to join the line, let me share with you, I have the privilege of hosting a 3-day conference called the Big Conference. It's October 14th through the 16th, 3 days. It's a Thursday evening, a Friday evening, and then all day on Saturday. We have developed a new tribe of people that are thinking expansively. And so what we understand is that if you're going to live into the bigness that God created you for, you can't keep staying around small-minded people, if I can just say it that plainly. You need to be exposed to a bigger tribe where people are expansive in their thought, where they're trusting a big God for big things. So you can join us by texting BIG to 317-680-7466. Once again, text the word BIG to 317-680-7466. And we'll send you a link so you can get connected to this amazing conference. Well, today I want to spend a few moments with you from the book of 1 Samuel. It's actually 1 Samuel 18, a passage that I really have enjoyed, but we're going to do a little bit different take on it. 1 Samuel 18, and we're going to begin at the 17th verse. It reads from the New King James as follows. Then Saul said to David, "Here is my older daughter, Merab. I will give her to you as a wife. Only be vigilant for me and fight the Lord's battle." For Saul thought, "Let my hands not be against him, but let the hand of the Philistine be against him." So David said to Saul, "Who am I? And what is my life and my father's family in Israel that I should be the son-in-law of the king?" But it happened at the time when Merab, Saul's daughter, should have been given to David, that she was given to Adriel as a wife. Then listen to this. Now Micah, Saul's daughter, loved David, and they told Saul, and the thing pleased him. So he said, "I will give her to him that she may be a snare to him, and that the hand of the Philistines may be against him." So what I want to talk to you about today is be big right now. Now, this is a perplexing scripture. It's a sad scripture because if you're listening to the text of this or the context of this reading, this is after David has killed the giant. Now, I want you to think about that. David faced the greatest military man on the planet when he had had no military training, and he defeats Goliath. And they talk about how young he was and how small he was, and Even the scriptures tells us when Saul tried to give him his armor, the armor just didn't fit him. And Saul said to him, "You cannot fight him. You are but a youth." And that's the first thing I want you to recognize is big is not a size. Big is a mentality. Once again, big is not a size. Big is a mentality. Even though David was dramatically smaller than the giant, even though he had had no proven track record as a military man, in his mind, David knew he was big. And he was big because of the God that he was with. And God made him bigger even without experience. But he had to be big in that moment. That moment when he was fighting that giant, when all the rest of the men in the army were cowering and afraid and nobody wanted to fight, even though he was just a shepherd boy and not in the army, he had to be big that moment. But then we move to this moment where David has moved into the palace. He doesn't understand all the rules of the palace. He doesn't understand the rules of the new society that he's a part of. And he allows that lack of understanding to make him feel small. David had already done the hard work. The marriage to the king's daughter was already promised him. He had done the work to do all that. But he allowed this moment to make him feel small. Once again, big and small is not a measurement of size. It's a measurement of mentality. The sad part here is he was to marry Merab. Watch this. The name Merab literally means increase. So he had earned his increase. The king was trying to give him increase for him to marry. And David turns down his increase. He has a moment of low self-esteem. And he talks himself out of the big that God has already reserved for him. And I'm wondering who I'm talking to right now, that you're measuring yourself against what you know, what you don't know, what other people around you know. And I want you to know that has nothing to do with the big that God has for you right now. In the big conference, we say it like this: why be big one day when you can be big day one? You have to change your mentality and operate from a big space. I pastor Emmaus Christian Church here in Indianapolis, Indiana. One of the things I'm proud of about Emmaus is we never acted like a small church. When we had 9 people, we acted like a mega ministry. I remember somebody said to me that they came when we had 9 to 13 people, and they said you preached like you were preaching to 3,000. We never allowed ourselves to have a small ministry mentality. I remember I had to get on one of our ministers one time because we were having Bible study, and there was a storm, and they were over Bible study, and they said, well, Pastor, we knew it was going to rain, it was going to storm, so we canceled Bible study. And I'm like, we don't cancel Bible study. Even though we were small, we don't have to have a small mentality. Now, if we look at David here, David's life was altered in this one moment of small. Merab, which meant increase, was to be a blessing for him. He turned down increase, and he ends up marrying Micah, which the king is already clear she will be a snare around his neck. It ends up affecting his whole family structure because he had a moment where he was little when he was supposed to be big. And I want to encourage you now, don't let size and artificial measurements make you have a moment of little when God is calling you to be big. Now, I'd love to help you with that. That's what we're doing at the big conference. Because sometimes people have been in war so long, they have forgotten how big God is calling them to be. I believe those of you that are watching me right now, that you did not tune in on happenstance or circumstance, but this is a divine appointment. You've been going through so much, you've forgotten how big you are and how big the God you serve is. When you have surrendered your will to God and you're flowing in business according to what God says, nothing is impossible to you. I just want to take this moment to encourage your heart and remind you, you are incredible. You are amazing. You are fantastic. And we don't need the world's vote on how big you are. You are big right now. Now live into the bigness that God has designed you to be today. The world cannot stand to be without you living in your bigness one day. So make a decision. Today, I change my mentality and I will be big. Well, I want you to join me at the big conference. We're going to give you some strategies and some techniques to align yourself with the bigness God has created you for. We want to put you in community with other people that are trusting a big God for big things. If you are the smartest person in your tribe, you are in the wrong tribe. If your dreams are bigger than everybody else in the tribe, you are in the wrong tribe. So join us at the big conference, October 14th through the 16th. How you get information is text the word big to 317-680-7466. Once again, 317-680-7466. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to be your host. I can't wait to see the amazing things that God is going to unleash in the earth because you stepped into your big. Well, this is Pastor Henry Green, and this has been Power Lunch. Thank you for joining me, and stay tuned. Hit the button so you get noticed when I go live, because we're going to start doing some interviews over the next 2 weeks with people that are living into their big. Have a great Wednesday.